All right, now what you've been waiting for? Get out your brackets. Have you filled them out? We're gonna go over the first round here. Atomic Tommy has a script of what happened, but let's get right into the first round and the first game. The first match was Captain Marvel versus Firestorm. How did that work out, Atomic Tommy?
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. Captain Marvel came to play on this first matchup, looking to end. She was looking to end the fight quick and show her dominance as a top contender. She came out swinging, and Firestorm, he showed up too. He clearly did not want to be underestimated by the fans, but despite Firestorm's best efforts,
it was close early.
It was close early. You know, he definitely came out to swing, but the other hand is Captain Marvel. You know, his ability, his nuclear fusion was just not enough to match Captain Marvel's intense durability and extreme energy manipulation, causing him to eventually fall to the might of Captain Marvel.
Tough opponent.
Tough opponent. Captain Marvel takes the first match.
The second matchup, Nightwing versus Shang-Chi. Again, that was a tough first round matchup.
Two characters widely known to be among some of the best hand-to-hand fighters in their respective divisions, both incredibly skilled in their own way. Each had incredible teachers and tons of hands-on experience.
This one went to overtime.
This one did go to overtime.
This one went overtime.
This one, it could have easily gone either way, but in the end, Nightwing did blunder. Underestimated Shang-Chi early in the fight. I mean, didn't take him seriously in the beginning. Thought he had it easy, and Shang-Chi...
He did recover well, though.
But Shang-Chi was able to get the upper hand in
overtime. That one was an overtime victory.
Win.
That could be a bracket buster. I don't know, but that was a tough matchup. Next one, we have a Captain America versus Cyborg. This is a stunning one.
This is a stunning one. I mean, we got new school versus old school, past versus the future. A man of will, determination,
yeah.
Strength, courage versus a man of technology, adaptability, and supreme intelligence. This is a matchup made for Captain America, and it was all the eyes are on Cap to come out on top in this one. But unfortunately, guys,
this was a major upset.
Captain America put up a fight, but despite the strength of S.H.I.E.L.D., Cyborg does, have a bunch of technology, and one of those technologies
This one did not go to overtime.
It did not go to overtime. Cyborg
made pretty quick work of him.
Just magnetized his hand, and we were all laughing up in the booth. He magnetized the hand, drew the shield, and you can ask Captain America how he fared against Cyborg's apocalyptic.
You know what? This was another one that could have busted a bracket.
I don't think any of us really saw this coming. It was crazy.
I think a lot of... Okay, but anyway, let's move on. Next one, Swamp Thing versus Savage Dragon.
Man. Look, if we can say anything about Savage Dragon in this fight, it's that he was driven and determined to make a name for himself as a top competitor.
Well, it was his first time in this.
It was his first
series.
time. He started as an outlier, and he definitely wanted to put up a fight to show... To get out of that outlier status, he wanted to be known.
The Chicago Police Department gave him leave of absence to compete. Yep. This is a first time for him at this level. I'm sure the experience that he gained from this, though, will make him tougher next year.
I'll tell you what, though, he had a tough match thrown at him in the first
Swamp Thing's, that's not one to go against. Anyway.
Unfortunately, just did not stand a chance against the strength, durability, and downright immortality of the Protector of the Green, the Swamp Thing. Definitely earned his stripes today on this fight.
Swamp Thing.
It was a tough first round matchup for Savage Dragon.
Hey, they made it to the show. They got to participate in the tournament, and
he was just happy to be on TV.
He was just happy to get in the tournament, and you know what? They gained experience. He was a young buck there. He gained experience.
Yes, he did.
He's ready for the next round. All right. Anyway, Swamp Thing advances. Flash versus Quicksilver. Atomic Tommy, give us the take. What happened in that matchup?
Folks, I'm going to be honest here. These two were moving fast. I wasn't even sure what was happening most of the fight.
We couldn't even see it on the screen.
We couldn't even see it, so we did have to call in a guest commentator. We had to call in Superman to commentate this fight because he's the only one that we know that could possibly keep up.
And then we had to go in slow-mo.
We had to slow-mo it, but even Superman was not able to keep up with these fleet-footed fighters, let me tell you. Fleet-footed fighters. These guys were moving fast. Not even Superman could keep up with it. However, he did give a report. And he said that despite Quicksilver's gumption and determination to prove himself as the best speedster around, Flash's ability to harness the Speed Force gave him the edge he needed to win this fight. For those who are curious, we had to time the fight. We figured it would be fun. It did last only about 5 seconds. It was a 5-second fight.
5-second fight.
But for them, who knows? It could have been a couple hours. So, anyway,
yeah, 5 seconds. That's
Flash
quick
wins.
work. Flash advances on to the second round. Venom versus Human Torch.
Nope, that's actually this. We missed one. Starfire versus Daybreak.
Oh, we did. I skipped over one. I'm sorry.
On the bracket. Well,
you know what we said early on? Don't look past this one. Don't sleep on this one. This is a newcomer who came to play. It was Daybreak versus Starfire. Starfire veteran here.
What do we have here is a classic rookie upset. A classic rookie coming into play, coming to prove herself, and she did. You know, Daybreak, like I mentioned, is an alien made of pure sunlight, who composed herself in a human form. You know, she has the ability to harness, manipulate, and utilize the complete power of the sun to her needs, similar to Starfire, who is a veteran in the DC universe, somebody who's not to be top. You don't want to mess with Starfire. She's very powerful. She has immense strength, energy manipulation, similar to Captain Marvel, and she does harness power from the sun. This was an incredible matchup. She can absorb sunlight. She can utilize sunlight. So it's just a matter of, can she hold off Daybreak's power?
Well, what was interesting is Daybreak came out hot from the start. I thought Starfire. I thought Starfire would make quick work of Daybreak, let her newness be exposed.
I know,
but Daybreak gave Starfire all she could handle from the first period.
Daybreak, Starfire does have her limits. She's incredibly durable and incredibly strong, but she can only take and absorb so much of that sunlight, and Daybreak just overwhelmed her and won that fight, unfortunately.
Congrats to Daybreak going on to the second round. All right, next one. Sorry, Human Torch versus Venom.
Human Torch.
Yeah, Human Torch took that one, and that everyone thought. I think a lot of people were thinking Venom on this one.
I know.
But,
here was the situation, guys. This one was. Man, this was another upset. I think this could be a bracket breaker for some people. Listen, we all know about Human Torch's unique ability to be immature and a jokester at times, and usually the worst possible times, not taking things seriously. But, man, when he shows up, he shows up. I'll tell you, I've never seen him more serious than he was with Venom. He knew exactly who he was going up against and knew exactly what he had to do to win.
He had focus.
Sorry, Venom fans, but we all know Venom's weakened by fire. We all know symbiotes do have a weakness to fire, and the Torch has plenty of that fire. And, man, I'll tell you what.
Human Torch, from the start. He came out of the gates
blazing. He created a circle of fire around Venom, leaving Venom in a tricky spot. Venom hasn't countered fire before, but despite the durability he can build up to it, it still wasn't enough. Venom was stuck in a tricky spot, and all that he could do was
ring after ring after
ring, throw in those long-range attacks. And we all know Johnny's pretty agile, and, he was able to dodge those attacks, but... Man, Human Torch came out on top.
So Human Torch advances to the second round. Next, Dr. Doom versus Moon Knight again.
Here's the thing, guys.
This was an interesting matchup.
One more thing about Venom, though. I'll tell you what. Usually with symbiotes, if we know anything, it's that the same move doesn't work twice. Torch might have been able to beat him this time with fire, but Venom does gain immunity. He does learn how to beat him, and he does adapt to tolerance, so it might not work next time.
If he makes the tournament next year,
we'll have to see what happens next year. All right, Dr. Doom versus Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Now look, guys, do I really even have to explain this one? It's Doom, okay? Doom knows all, he can do all, and isn't one to usually bother.
This one was over before it started.
Yep, Doom is not usually one to combat with those he deems lesser to himself.
It's true.
However, he did make an exception for the Fist of Khonshu, somebody he does respect, being the avatar of a god. And I'll tell you what, despite that, however, despite Spectre's speed, strength, agility, he does get revived every time he dies. It just wasn't enough to fight Doom. I'll tell you what, we started counting how many times Moon Knight was resurrected. We did lose count in the 20s. The fight went on so long, we just had to call it an overtime for Doom because one can only die so many times before it is deemed.
Well, it was deemed a loss. It was a mercy.
It was a mercy ruling for Moon Knight.
You can only wipe out a guy. He had more lives than a cat coming at him.
Despite the power of Khonshu, the Egyptian god of the moon, was not enough.
So Moon Knight is eliminated. Dr. Doom moves on to the second round. Those people that have in the final four are really happy he's still in there. All right, we're on the other side of the bracket now. Scarlet Witch versus Nova. Poor Nova.
You know, I'll tell you what, folks. I can't even begin to describe the power Scarlet Witch commands. She can rival any A-list hero in power. I'll tell you what. I mean, reality warping, chaos magic. The fact that she's a Nexus being alone. I mean, all you got to do is name it, man. I'll tell you. She may. I think she was even offended at the matchup we gave her.
I think she was offended because
she was offended at the match. She didn't even show up. I mean, we were all waiting in the booth, watching the court, waiting for Scarlet Witch to roll in, and she never showed up. I mean, all we did, we watched Nova disappear before our eyes. She didn't even show up. She just wiped him out of existence.
She wiped him out of existence. She did come out to take a bow, though.
She did come out to take a bow. All she did was she just probably whispered that no more Nova. You know, and he was out before the fight began.
I think she was offended by the matchup. Poor Nova didn't even get a chance really to play hard. It was over before it started. Good job, Scarlet Witch, advancing to the second round. Here comes a stunner matchup. It was Doctor Strange versus Raven.
What an upset. This was a crazy
This was a
upset.
major upset,
no,
people.
I didn't see this coming. You didn't see this coming.
I didn't see this one coming.
No one saw this coming. The master of the mystic arts overpowered and sent to the underworld by the dark magic wielder, Raven. I guess her father's influence definitely did get the better of her this one. Trigon took over. There were times I wasn't sure even what was fighting Doctor Strange. I didn't know if it was Raven or some sort of
crazy.
Weird. It was a wild fight. It was scary from the booth. Honestly, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I mean, if one thing's for sure after this fight, I'm definitely not sleeping tonight, folks. I'll tell you what.
I definitely am leaving the light on tonight.
Definitely leaving the light on. That was a scary fight.
That was a scary fight.
I don't even know what was going on, but damn, Doctor Strange got rolled.
We still haven't seen Doctor Strange. We don't know where she put him in a dimension or something.
We don't know where Doctor Strange went, guys. I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, lights are left on tonight. All right.
I mean, listen, I will say we probably should have seen this coming. You know, if we look at the Doctor Strange, if Spider-Man can trick Doctor Doom with geometry in No Way Home, I think we probably should have seen this one coming. Okay. Anyway,
that's true.
Wolverine versus She-Hulk, another fight.
Another one. Wolverine takes this one.
I mean, Wolverine is the best there is at what he does, but what he does is kick She-Hulk's ass. Okay, She-Hulk. You know, she
cut her up from the beginning.
She-Hulk is a Hulk, you know, and Hulks are extremely powerful, but She-Hulk is not as powerful as the actual Hulk, who Wolverine can go toe-to-toe with for a limited time. You know, obviously there is a limit to how far Wolverine can go with the Hulk, but also Wolverine does have a healing factor, incredible durability that allows him to regenerate from pretty much anything. You know, I don't know if it's as good as Deadpool's healing factor, but it's up there. Not to mention the fact that he's got that adamantium skeleton, those claws, man. And Wolverine got the upper hand. She-Hulk wasn't able to keep up with that healing factor and got KO'd.
It was bad.
It was a bad fight for She-Hulk. She definitely could have performed better.
I thought she was going to perform better, but it really wasn't much of a fight. I mean, Wolverine really took it to her.
Wolverine, yeah.
All right, Ghost Rider versus Hellboy.
Man, this match was a lot closer than any of us predicted.
This was another overtime matchup.
This was Hellboy's got demon-like powers. I mean, he is a demon.
And he definitely does.
He hunts demons. He's got those demon powers. I mean, fire immunity, strength, healing factor. Hellboy is no joke, man. I'll tell you what. And he's got the ability to hurt Ghost Rider, but in most of Ghost Rider's conventional attacks did not work as effectively on Hellboy as I think we all thought it would, given his demon-like powers. But no one can withstand the penance stare of Ghost Rider. And Hellboy,
there was a lot of pain there.
It definitely does feel guilt. Definitely is still capable of sin. And the penance stare is a godlike power that nobody can withstand. And Ghost Rider had to bust that one out to win. So Ghost Rider does take the victory versus Hellboy.
Yeah. You're going to have to take this one down.
Yeah.
This one, Invincible, Tommy, you were really all for Invincible on this one. Homelander, though, really showed up.
I was rooting for my boy Mark Grayson, but he did not and was not able to keep up with Homelander. I'll tell you what, Viltrumite strength that would give even Superman, I think, a small run for his money. Not a large run for his money, but a small run for his money. Versus Homelander. You know, and Homelander, not as bad as the Joker in terms of insanity, but he's not all there. He's very psychotic, very rash, very emotional, and definitely one that's you just can't expect. You just can't prepare for Homelander, you know? And unfortunately, Invincible's inexperience did get the better of him. He underestimated Homelander. Homelander didn't underestimate him. He went straight through the throat and did not hold back. Invincible was able to hold out for a while given his durability,
Straight
but
to the throat. Yeah.
the overwhelming attacks of Homelander threw Invincible off and caused a KO by knockout.
Congratulations on Homelander. Both Invincible and Homelander worked hard to get into this tournament.
Yes,
both
they
are
did.
first timers, so both of them, hey, kudos for making it. It's tough to make it this far.
Yes, it is. Now we got Wonder Woman versus Storm.
Yeah.
This. You guys might know this, might not know this, but this is actually a rematch. All right, they had an epic fight in a crossover, I think 20, 30 years ago in DC versus Marvel, where Storm came out on top, electrocuted Wonder Woman with lightning. It was a crazy fight to read. And this is a rematch. We pitted these two against to see who would come out on top as the best. Sometimes Wonder Woman might have been off her game, but this time, man, I couldn't believe it.
Well, I couldn't believe the focus when Wonder Woman was walking into the arena.
She was, but not only that,
focused.
She
had her headphones on. I don't know what she was listening to. But
she called in a favor from Batman, and she came in prepared with a lightning-proof suit to make sure that Storm could not win the same one a second time. It was a hand-to-hand fight. Wonder Woman is an Amazon warrior, not one to trifle with. She could withstand most weather phenomenon that Storm was able to throw at her. And when it came down to the hand-to-hand, the pure strength, the pure fight, Storm
was amazing. It was
fell,
incredible.
Unfortunately, it was an incredible fight to witness. That Wonder Woman won.
Good job, Wonder Woman, advancing to the second round. The next one we have is Batman versus Daredevil.
I'll tell you what, guys. This is another one of those fights
Another vigilante
really
fight.
could have gone either way. These guys are both very equal in hand-to-hand skills, but Batman did win, and what gave him that upper hand was...
I think I call this one an upset. I think Daredevil still should have won this fight.
Still should have won. In hand-to-hand, he should have fight, but we got to remember Batman has that utility belt.
He does have the utility
Daredevil's
belt.
relying on his senses alone. He has no sight, So, Batman's got a ton of technology to overwhelm those senses. He used sonic grenades, which hurt my ears. My ears are still ringing. He used those sonic grenades to block his hearing and disoriented. Then he threw a couple smoke grenades. My eyes are still watering. That's why they're dry today. To impair his smell. I mean, then he couldn't smell. And then, Batman got the upper hand and the devil did fall. It was a rough one to watch for Daredevil. He was kind of thrown off his feet a little bit.
It was tough to watch. I had Daredevil going farther, to be honest with you. I didn't know he'd get eliminated in the first round. But hey,
final fight here.
Kudos. Good job to Batman in the first
Good
round.
job
All right,
to
final
Batman.
fight of the first round, Deadpool versus Dr. Fate.
I call this one an upset. A matchup that I don't think many people even saw coming. I mean, Deadpool and
I don't
Dr.
think so.
Fate. An agent. I mean, Dr. Fate is an agent of the Lords of Order versus the Merc with a Mouth. I mean, this is not a fight that most people probably saw coming. And Dr. Fate is no ordinary magic wielder. He has the power of...
He's been doing this a long time.
His power is otherworldly. You have your mortal magic wielders, in the DC universe, like John Constantine or Zatanna. And then you have your sort of immortal, sort of otherworldly, other beings, magic wielding beings like the Spectre or like Dr. Fate that just are immense in power. And, that helmet of fate mixed with the power of Nabu, who is the controller of Dr. Fate and is the person that possesses Kent Nelson, makes him a force to be reckoned with. However, Deadpool can't die. Deadpool is physically incapable of death to really any mean. I mean, he can die, but Dr. Fate does not possess any of the means that can physically kill him. So, the only weakness that Dr. Fate really has that we witnessed was his mortal body. His mortal body, Kent Nelson, does tire, it does weaken, and Nabu can only keep it going for so long before Fate just can't fight anymore. And Deadpool, every time he would die, every time Fate would have to end Deadpool, he would just come right back and wore Kent Nelson out, man. I'll tell you what, and Nabu did everything he could, but he was exhausted and was KO'd by exhaustion. We did, after the Raven fight with Doctor Strange, this was the last fight of the day, and after all these different portals were open, these people were disappearing, we made a rule that Dr. Fate couldn't send him anywhere. They had to stay in the arena. We saw it too many times. They would just win by not even showing up or throw him into some portal.
We lost Doctor Strange.
We lost Doctor Strange. We didn't want to lose Deadpool, so we made a rule. We said, man, this has got to stay in the arena, and what happened.
Okay, folks, so as you can see on the bracket now, the second round is set. We'll have the results of the second round next week. House cleaning items, we have Kevin Tapney here March 23rd from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's $15 per item autograph. That does not include the item. If you have your own item, feel free to bring it. Then you only have to pay $15 for the autograph. If you want to combine a selfie with that, then it goes up to $20. Otherwise, it's $15 for an autograph or $15 for a selfie or $20 for the combo, which is a great deal. If you have your own stuff to sign, great. If you don't, we have stuff at the store for purchase, like mini helmets, baseballs, baseball cards, 8x10s, etc. But anyway, that does it for this week.
Nope. The only thing we have to say is that the March 16th New Pain Day does, due to extremely unfortunate, unforeseen circumstances, does have to be rescheduled for a later date. We will give details in a new date on that as soon as we have it.
Yeah,
but for right now, New Pain Day is
right.
off for the 16th and will be rescheduled for.
So March 23rd on the calendar, everybody. March 23rd for the Kevin Tapley signing, 1991 world champion. New Pain Day is postponed temporarily. We'll come up with a new date for that as soon as we work it out with Keith. So anyway, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Shout out to Matt. Shout out to JD. Shout out to Jimmy the Souser.
Jimmy the Souser.
We'll have to have him back for some takes after the next round. And, of course, Larry and Sam and Terry and Nikki. Wanted to get a shout out to them as well. So take care, everybody. We'll see you next week.